Do you think that they were still pushing the conspiracies and the lies?
Breaking news now. Dominion voting systems say they categorically deny any and all of President Trump's claims that their voting machines caused any voter fraud in key swing states or
of course
electoral fraud. But reports contradict that claim. In 2016, a senior executive at Dominion told the Illinois State Board of Elections that it is possible to bypass their election system software.
That
Here's
it's
what
possible.
The Vice President of Engineering at Dominion at that time, Eric Coomer, told the
Hey, Lou Dobbs, it's possible there are pink unicorns on Mars. It's possible.
board during a meeting in good old Cook County.
No, we are not allowed to do routine updates without having to go through a recertification effort, but we do routinely give guidance on how to best secure systems, and also going back again to the final mitigation against all of this is a robust auditing and canvassing process, which all of our jurisdictions have implemented.
Coomer said no updates can be done without recertification, as you heard. Mr. Coomer's assurances of a secure system, however, are contradicted by the fact that various vendors, election officials, and others reportedly can access the voting machine code without an update being required. And we know that there were updates on those machines a day before the election. Well, joining us
I would
tonight is
assume
Sidney Powell, a member of President Trump's legal team, General Flynn.
a member of President Trump's legal team. Remember, this is a lawyer turned fiction writer, which is exactly why she is perfect for the bullshit they're spinning.
Defense attorney, a great American and prominent appellate lawyer. Great to have you with us, Sidney. Let's start with
Thank you,
Dominion.
And they didn't even mention that, like, she hasn't practiced law, like, other than defending Michael Flynn. Like, she's been a TV producer and a writer for the past 20 years. Maybe longer. I think it went back to the 90s. She just takes on these bullshit cases to try to raise her profile amongst the MAGA people.
Disavowal of any claim of fraud against the company, its software or machines. Your reaction?
Well, I can hardly wait to put forth all the evidence we have collected on Dominion, starting with the fact
Hulk
that
Hogan may be a great American. Terry Bollea is a piece of shit.
Results in Venezuela for Hugo Chavez, and then shipped internationally to manipulate votes for purchase in other countries.
Now, I've started doing some digging about the Hugo Chavez shit, and like, this is some report from back in 2006 in the New York Times that, like, it's this contracting company with Dominion. Like, I haven't even been able to piece it all together yet. This company that Dominion is contracting out to had some people from Venezuela that worked for their board.
This one, it was funded by money from Venezuela and Cuba, and China has a role in it also. So if you want to talk about foreign election interference, we certainly have.
Now, that they're also, apparently this Dominion company was counting the ballots in Germany or some shit, because they just want to throw out different countries, it appears.
It now. We have staggering statistical evidence. We have staggering testimony from witnesses, including one who was personally in briefings when all of this was discussed and planned, beginning with Hugo Chavez and how it was designed there, and then saw it happening in this country. As soon as the state shut down on election night and stopped counting, those are the states where the most egregious problems occurred. We also need to look at, and we're beginning to collect evidence on the financial interests of some of the governors and secretaries of state who actually bought into the Dominion systems, surprisingly.
Keep that in mind. We're getting ready to play a press conference from the Secretary of State in Georgia, who has been assaulted by people in his own party for doing his job.
Enough. Hunter Biden type graft to line their own pockets by getting a voting machine in that would either make sure their election was successful or they got money for their family from it.
Well, that's straightforward.
There's a hell of a name drop there, throwing out Hunter Biden.
Be quick to go through and to produce that investigation. And
that's what I wondered. I had a conservative friend send me a picture of Sidney Powell. Said she got all kinds of voter fraud evidence. And I said, what? Did you find it on Hunter Biden's laptop?
The results of it. The December deadlines are approaching for electors, and just as we saw in 2000 with Bush v. Gore, how critical are those deadlines, and how urgent does that make your investigation and discovery?
Well, for fraud this serious, I think even if the states are stupid enough to go ahead and certify the votes.
Look at you dropping a tease. Give us a link so we can get up on your stream here after my show.
Where we know the machines were operating and producing altered election results. If they're stupid enough to do that, then they will be set aside by the fraud also. I mean, we are talking about hundreds of thousands of votes. President Trump won this election in a landslide. It's going to be irrefutable. And patriots are coming forward every day, all day, faster than we can collect their information with the testimony they're willing to give under oath.
Like that one dude that we played on Friday, maybe it was Thursday, the mail carrier who overheard a conversation and then recanted his story. And then swears he didn't recant, though the transcript has been released of what he told investigators. And he most certainly did recant his story. About how their votes were stolen and how the machines operated. They were updated the night of the election, sometimes after the election. We've got statistical evidence that shows hundreds of thousands of votes being just put in and replicated. It's going to be, there needs to be a massive criminal investigation, and it's going to affect millions of voters and elections. There is going to be a massive criminal investigation, but not into what she is talking about. Now, this report came out earlier today that judges appear increasingly frustrated with Trump's legal claims about the 2020 election. And the reason why is because they keep getting laughed out of court. At what point does this get ridiculous? The exacerbated judge, an appointee of President Barack Obama, asked before ruling against the Republicans. Judge after judge after judge has asked, in essence, where is the beef? A reference to what, a 40-year-old TV commercial? Jesus. The Attorney General for the District of Columbia and a frequent Trump critic in a call with reporters said Friday. We have seen numerous instances where affidavits have been filled out only to be immediately pulled back once tested in state and federal court. Central to some of the plaintiffs' claims is the contention that the upcoming election, both nationally and in Montana, will fall prey to widespread voter fraud. This is before the election they were ruling. Said in a late September ruling against a Trump campaign filing to halt mail-in voting in the state. Now they've been throwing legal challenges at this months before the election, and they're keeping it going. Oh yeah. I think I showed the transcript of this. What I have at best is a hearsay affidavit. If there's something in that affidavit that would indicate that the witness observed activity that would be a deprivation of the rights of poll watchers, I want you to please focus my attention on that. I heard somebody else say something. Tell me why that's not hearsay. Come on now. So then once the Trump lawyers admitted, people got to what the poll watchers were allowed in for the Trump campaign. Then the judge asked, I'm sorry, then what's your problem? Before throwing the case out. They have won, I think, 2 cases thus far. And they have all been, like, stupid. The two that they won were just over silly. Got like 5 ballots thrown out in one, I believe it was. Now, the Georgia Secretary of State held a press conference earlier today because senators, God, I don't think Perdue's a senator yet. He may be. I don't remember exactly. But Perdue, that's running for the Senate, and then Kelly Loeffler, who was appointed to the Senate, they're both in the special elections in January in Georgia, have asked that the Secretary of State, who is a Republican, resign. I thought I had some video of this. Oh, here we go.
Cast. Right now, Georgia remains too close to call. Out of approximately 5 million votes cast,
Oh, I'm sorry. This was November 6th.
we'll have a margin of a few.
I thought it was him talking about how fellow Republicans are pressuring him to find ways to exclude ballots. The people trying to commit voter fraud in this election are Republicans trying to deny legally cast ballots. We went over it. The old lady in Georgia that they accused her of being dead. The military families that are having their votes challenged for being out of state when they're just stationed out of state. Man, I was only in 6th grade during the OJ trial, and I remember being very exacerbated by all that shit. Even Senator Lindsey Graham has said that he has questioned the validity of legally cast absentee ballots. But now I understand why Trump is so adamant about questioning the results of this election. Because I think he is in serious legal jeopardy should he leave office.